Prime Minister, thank you very much for your opening comments and especially for hosting such a great event so far. One of the key issues that the business community and governments are all looking at issues is the issues that post the global financial crisis, we had an awful lot of stimulus packages. As we come out of this recovery, many of the countries within APEC, within the G20, are at different levels of coming out of the stimulus packages. At what point, one deflection point, do you see that the stimulus packages should be unwinding before there's just too much elasticity within the bubble before we have another burst?
This is something which the governments have to discuss. I think the consensus in the G20 is that this is not the moment yet, and the moment will have to be coordinated so that countries come out in an orderly sort of way. The fiscal stimulus packages, the spending, is less difficult to arrange because you can gradually tail off the spending and then you can watch whether the economy is growing again. The more difficult part is the monetary part and the financial system part. The monetary part, because if you withdraw the monetary stimulus too late, you risk inflating a bubble. You may not be there yet in the major economies, but in Asia we have seen stock markets go up, we have seen property markets go up. Hong Kong has seen this, so has Singapore to some extent. And it's connected to this global monetary conditions. We have to live with it for now and manage the difficulty. But if it becomes a significant and broad, widespread bubble, because we defer the monetary tightening for too long, we will have a serious problem. This is something which the Fed focuses on every couple of months, and so do the other governments. The other aspect is the financial system. One of the things which governments did during the crisis last year was to guarantee bank liabilities. But guarantee, deposits, guarantee bank obligations, loans, not loans, but borrowings. And they had no choice because once Ireland moved in Europe, other European governments decided they had to do the same. And then governments in this part of the world decided they had to do the same. And Singapore suddenly found ourselves one day having to make a decision whether or not we do this. And we took a deep breath. And we've always said that banks are banks and governments are governments. And anybody putting money into banks has to decide for themselves which is the safest bank and what is the sensible place to put your money. But given what was happening around the world, if we didn't act, we were going to have a problem in Singapore because at the click of a mouse, several $100 million can travel from point A to point B, and some banking system will suddenly find itself under great stress. So we had to move, and other governments in Asia also had to move. We said for 2 years, the others have generally said about for 2 years. But how to withdraw that in a coordinated way so that in the process of withdrawing it, we don't have deposits and assets sloshing around from country to country and destabilizing the system. This is going to be a very delicate exercise which we will have to discuss over the next year.
Thank you, Prime Minister. As much as we would like to continue this dialogue, this fantastic dialogue, I think it's time to let this host country to have the Prime Minister's back. And on behalf of the delegates here, Prime Minister, may I thank you for opening this session, and also a big thank you to Singapore for hosting this wonderful event.
Thank you very much.